This is what my sound like.
Your home for today's best music.
We bring the sound. Now here we go. We can go on and on.
And you know I like it. And you know I like it.
Where music lives. This is Power 95. Ladies Room comes to you compliments of
Renwick and Thompson Limited
Agents for Western Union
and Beacon Insurance.
We plan for every major life event, from birthday parties to baptisms, and celebrating a life well lived deserves the same thoughtful planning. Beacon's Rest Easy plan is designed to give your loved ones the comfort of knowing that they can do just that. With no underwriting and cover for up to 6 family members that includes certain injuries, this plan can be yours for as little as 75 cents per day. Call us at Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they're prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
And we are back inside the room for another week. Good morning, everybody. I trust you had a fantastic weekend and you're ready to embrace another week. Yes, no politicking today. Thank you, Lord. A little breather from, campaigning and all of that. Because, the police are voting today. And the rest of us will do so on Thursday. And Thursday cannot get here any sooner. I've just about had enough of this. Anywho's, it's not up for debate today. We can't talk about that today. You know how it goes. The do's and don'ts and what have you. And I don't mind at all. Good morning, Christelle. Good morning, Tamasha. Good morning, Roseanne. Are you guys hearing me clearly? To me, I find like I'm going in and out. Y'all hearing me good? I don't know if it's my headphones, but I'm getting a little... Anyways. Good morning, Lydia. Yeah, Lydia, I am behaving at all. I want everything to be over so we can go back to Kaiso and Soca and Groove and what have you. Good morning, Shauna. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Claudine. Good morning, Marian. Good morning, Ramos. Good morning, Valina. Who else is here? I told Crystal good morning already. Yes. Good morning, Sonia, Sandra. Good morning. Jackie's another one too. That Good morning, Neela. Lydia, behave. Good morning, Black Beauty Butterfly Henry. Lindy. Good morning, Gietz. Good morning, Judy, and good morning, Randy. Good morning, Gabriella. Hope all is well. You guys are doing good. You're fired up, and Avril morning. I was saying Oswin, Avril. You guys are fired up and ready to do your do. I am fired up for. Anyways, let me move on to the topic at hand. So, just want to shout out all the fathers in the room. I hope you guys enjoyed your day yesterday, and the mothers and the wives and the significant others and the daughters and sons and what have you made it special for you. I know it's not like, the way we celebrate Mother's Day, with the concerts and, different events and, the gift baskets and so much options for the women. I know we don't do that, but still want to take the time out to, really, really shout out the fathers. Because sometimes it seems as though, there are more bad than good ones, but I know a lot of good ones, and it's sad that you guys get a bad rap and you have to deal with the messy end of the stick because of those who are not doing what they're supposed to. But today, I just want to salute those of you who go the extra mile, above and beyond. And it doesn't matter what age your child or children are, they know they can always come to daddy. You're always there, whether to provide for them financially, emotionally, whatever. You're always there. You've been a constant fixture in their lives. You've helped them learn to ride a bicycle, climb a tree, help them with homework, be there for PTA meetings. They know they can always come home to you. I always have you there. Just want to shout out you guys because, there are a lot of you. And some have said that to me. Listen, sometimes it's sad listening, the program and hearing women bashing baby fathers and what have you. And it makes it seems like we all are that way, but we're not. There are some of us who actually take this role seriously, and make sure that our children needs are met, make sure that we're there for them. So I wanna salute those of you who continue to do a fantastic job. The rest of you, you really don't know what you're missing out on. You really don't know. You may think that you're doing well on your ends, but you don't know what you're missing out on. Not being in your child or children's life, you're missing out on a good thing. Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have all the money in the world. Sometimes just your mere presence, you showing up, hanging with them, playing with them, being there. Some of y'all seem to think that it's only about money and material things and you can't provide this, that, or the other. But time spent with your child or children is not something you can put a price on. Time. Taking them out for the park, going to the beach, doing something. Not everything requires a whole set of money. Just making time for them and showing them that you were present, that didn't mean a whole lot. And for those who are, a lot of women or men who didn't have that, privilege to have their fathers present in their lives like that. And then again, you have some fathers who are present. They were like physically in the home, but they didn't take no interest. They just figured, you know what, I'm here to provide food, clothing, shelter. You're on your own. Your mother will take care of whatever you have to together, blah, blah, blah. I'm just here. We also have those, and we have those who are absent totally. But for those who've been present from day one, shout outs to you. Yeah? Now this morning we have I am low. Let me see. Is this better? Akeem, good morning. Good morning, Laurel. Good morning, Narissa. Come on in, guys, and share the live. Is it better? Leanne, good morning. Maureen Isaac, good morning. Best Babs, morning. Ramos, you sure it's me? Because I'm not seeing anybody else saying that I'm low, so it's probably on your end. So check it out and see. So we have a very serious situation to deal with this morning, and it's kind of sensitive, and at the same time, it made me feel sort of sad because. And then when I saw some of the responses coming from the men, that too made me, take a step back and see, we are really different, So this person says they're newly married, and after their honeymoon, her husband had a group video call with his best friends. And she said after she said hello to them, she then excused herself to go for a walk. She decided she needed a raincoat as it looked like it was about to rain. But her husband and friends thought she had already left. So she came back to get the raincoat and, overheard the conversation. And believe you me, if you hear somebody talking about you, there's no way you're just going to say, shrug it off and move. You're going to want to hear what they're saying about you. So she says they started questioning him about their honeymoon and, they were teasing and laughing until one of his friends asked him if my looks was still an issue for him. My husband told her that he loved me and that we had a great honeymoon and that I'm beautiful on the inside. And he said, you can't have it all. She insisted on asking whether he felt he downgraded from his ex-girlfriend, and he said maybe. But she, that's her, makes me happy, meaning the wife makes him happy. Another friend said that I wasn't bad looking if I lost some weight. And nothing feels the same anymore. I always knew I wasn't beautiful, but I thought that he liked me how I looked, or at least didn't mind it so much. I know he values my other qualities and that he loves me, but I don't feel good with him anymore, and I haven't been happy since that day. Good morning, Dre. Morning, Andre Harry says I'm good. All right, thanks. Now, there's a lot of pressure put on women. And sometimes we put that pressure on ourselves, and then that pressure is put on us by society. There's a lot of pressure on women to look a certain way. And I'm not sure if you guys been following the beauty industry to see how many women go under the knife just to have that perfect look. And it's almost a thing now that you have to have the perfect figure 8 shape. Nothing's wrong with somebody deciding, you know what, I want to make a little tweak here and there. I want to do this. I want to do that. But I want to do it for me. with no pressure whatsoever from anybody or from society. It's just me. I can afford it, so I do it. I have no problem because believe you me, the day I get some bread, I'm heading somewhere to do something. What I don't know yet, but I will. And it's for me, ain't for nobody. And nobody wants me to look or feel a certain way because I get this every day. Oh, you like too much makeup? I'm not wearing my makeup for you. I like it. I like the fact that I can get up every day and choose a different look based on my mood. Some days I want to be like out there. Some days I just want to be like mellow, and I can do that. But it's for me. I'm not pressured by anybody. But the thing is, society puts a lot of pressure on women daily to look a certain way. You'll see people posting pictures and you'll see the comments and you'll see the amount of likes you get based on how you look and what you're wearing and yada yada yada. And other women look at that. And I mean, you have to understand not every woman's self-esteem, self-confidence is on 100. Because listening to her, the part that really made me like, I always knew I wasn't beautiful. But sometimes you may not be beauty in the sense of the word, like facially you have that perfect nose and mouth and like you're beautiful, but the way you carry yourself and your confidence, you would swear you were like, "Psh, I'm straight up 100. I may not be the model type or have that perfect face, but my confidence is so high that I feel like I am like a beauty queen." But not everybody feels that way. Not everybody feels that way. And like I said, the pressure that is put on women to look a certain way. Hearing from your husband, and your husband or your significant other should be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest fan. And if nobody supports you and nobody boosts you up, your significant other ought to do that. Now, if he got married to this lady and he knows that well, facially may not be what society terms beautiful, but it's enough for him. Why entertain conversations? No, there's a thing called boundaries, and a lot of the times we don't know boundaries when it comes to a significant other. And if it's one thing I hate is hearing somebody speak ill of their significant other to other people. You might be feeling your own way, but the minute time your friends bring it up, that should be, hey, nah, this isn't a topic for discussion. How was the honeymoon? It was great. The end. Why are you entertaining conversations about your spouse in her absence? Because they started asking the question because they knew she wasn't around. She came, said hi, and said she was going out to do her walk. So why are they questioning him about their honeymoon and asking him if her looks was still an issue for him? Which means he had conversations prior to that conversation regarding her looks. Because how would they just come out of the blue? How would this woman just come out of the blue and ask if her looks was still an issue? Now, if her looks was still an issue, why did you get married to somebody whose looks is an issue? Why not get married to somebody who fits the mold and who fits what you think is ideally beautiful and what you like? Because a lot of the times, if you were to look at it, men don't have to do much. It's either you're facially challenged, but you could still get a beautiful woman. I've seen men who are, and you'll stop, I'm like, oh, you get a girl? But you have nice ways. You have a lot of other things going for you. Because if we were all to just go on, based on looks, there'll be a lot of single men and a lot of single women. There isn't much you can do if you're, for want of a better word, no disrespect to anybody, facially challenged. There isn't much you can do. If you have a body, you can probably work out, get the abs and, the muscles and what have you. And that looks good so much that it takes the attention away from your face. So you're still attractive. Plus, you're a confident man. Irrespective of how you look, you're a confident man, well put together, smelling good, good job, holding it down. You can still attract a beautiful woman. Not for all to, we're so shallow to just look at somebody and say, well, oh, their looks, there'll be a lot of single men and a lot of single women. Now, if you knew you felt a type of way about this lady's look, why get married to her? Why entertain her? And the friend even going so far to ask if he felt like he downgraded from his ex-girlfriend, and he's saying maybe. Why you entertaining conversation about your wife with other people? From the minute time this person started, I have no problems asking about the honeymoon. How was the honeymoon? It was great. The end. No need to go into details. The minute you came with the other questions, nah, no comment. We're not doing that. Next. Why your friends so comfortable speaking about your wife? And you going on to say she's beautiful on the inside and you can't have it all. You serious? And another one talking about she isn't bad looking if she lost some weight. And you're sitting there as a grown man and having people talking about your wife and you're there. Of course I would feel a type of way about that. So to say, oh, well, he got married to her as an excuse that, well, she shouldn't complain or she shouldn't feel a type of way. Hell yes, I'm going to feel a type of way if I walked into a room and overheard my significant other having conversations with his friends, not in a pleasant way. Even though he may not have said anything, well, for want of a better word, bad, they were doing it and he did not stop them. He did not say, well, you know what? I don't appreciate you all speaking about my wife that way. Let's stop. How do you expect her to feel good about that? How should she be? Why should she be comfortable? Why you entertaining that? Why you entertaining conversations about your wife with your friends, discussing her looks and asking if you feel that's a downgrade from your ex, and y'all saying she shouldn't feel away? And then he's asking if her looks is still, they're asking if her looks are still, so that means he expressed concern about her looks prior to getting married. So now they're comfortable enough to ask if her looks is still a problem. How do you feel if you walk into a room and hear your wife discussing with your friend and them and telling them your belly big and you're this and you're that and you're too good looking, and are you trying to tell me you would not feel a type of way? Just getting married and hearing yourself being discussed in that way, listen, I don't know how y'all are excusing this, but you just lost serious points. Now she's saying she feels a type of way and she doesn't, nothing feels, it wouldn't, because you're probably wondering what else is he saying to these friends. Plus he probably knew about her little insecurities. And as much as you saw someone say, oh, well, suck it up, yeah, oh, well, work on your self-esteem, build your confidence and what have you. That's not something that happens overnight, especially if it's something you've been battling for and you're sort of self-conscious about your looks. And to hear her say that she always knew she wasn't beautiful but thought he liked how she looked, but at least didn't mind it so much, so really says her self-confidence is not all of there. And she doesn't feel good with him anymore. So, want to know what she should do. First off, if you want your marriage to continue, you need to have the conversation with him. Morning.
All the weekend. All the weekend. Good?
Well, weekend was good, man.
All right, Doc. I realized that because everybody outside.
Me, I was inside, Papa.
Well, that was even much better. I wish I could have stayed inside. I would have that situation. I give the woman all the credit. If me, I would not have done anything. The only thing I would have asked him, why are you discussing our relationship with your friends? And if you can't give me a straight answer, I will have checked myself one time and I say, you see me, I don't know what he say and he hide, but I know in the long run we ain't gonna make it. Because if you're bad talking me with your friends, no, when I'm not there, I just happen to hear the conversation. What will you do then when I gone? You understand me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He will say more, and she would know about it. It just accidentally.
Because they thought she left. They thought she left.
Exactly. Exactly. And it happen. I feel it happen for a purpose. So she should check herself.
Agreed.
Because you just get married, and that is being said as you just get married. You don't know what will happen later on. That's what I would advise you. Better you pack up and leave. Find a way to leave.
Gotcha.
Have a nice day, Aruna.
Have a good one too. Thanks,
Don't
Moss.
let the politics get you.
Me,
down.
Papa.
Have a
Me
nice
taking all these people and them, they ain't stressing me at all.
But Aruna, we ain't beating up.
At all.
Because at the end of the day, we have to live with
I still had to get up Friday morning and come to work if you ain't get a holiday.
Exactly. And some people don't believe that when election gone, they don't have to pay water, they don't have to pay light. Don't
still have to pay.
water. And if not, I'm going to go to the same way. Have a nice day.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Still had to pay it. Still had to get up and come to work. Yeah, she not for real. And I'm seeing men on the post on my page talking about she's overthinking. Yeah. Y'all always accuse women of overthinking, but I always say, put yourself in somebody else's shoe for a second. And that is the problem. We don't think of how another person would feel. We don't put themselves. Imagine if the roles are reversed. And I'm big on roles reversing. How would you feel if the same was done to you? You walked in. There's no way you would smile and wave. You walked in and overheard your wife discussing you with her friends, and not in a pleasant manner, not in a positive way. Wouldn't you feel a way as to why she's doing that? So to see some of y'all talking about overthinking, and seeing women as well saying she's overthinking, how would you feel? Like I said, we are under constant pressure every day to live up to expectations. Not everybody's built for this. Not everybody's self-confidence is on 100. It takes a while longer for some to get there. It took me a minute to get there where I'm like, you could say what you want. When I look in the mirror, I like how I look. I love how I look. You don't need to compliment me. I compliment myself every single day. I even give myself high fives. And I give my own back taps. That didn't happen overnight. There was a time I was super self-conscious. Everybody who knew me back in the day when I was like 0 and being made fun of. 10 foot. Maga. 2 stick. When you get all those sort of names, you feel that making you feel good. So at some point you have to toughen up and say, you know what? It's either I let this beat me down or I brace up myself. So it's not as easy. There are some who are overweight, and I'm sure you don't like being called big and fat and this and that. You feel away. So the same way people who are plus size feel, people who are extremely skinny, they're also self-conscious. Skinny people are self-conscious, plus size are also self-conscious. And nobody likes being called names or feel like, you know what, I don't look a certain way. And every time I go on the internet, I go on IG, I see this perfect looking bodies, tummy well tucked away, butt up, boobs up in the air. And I'm looking down on myself and I'm like, why can't I? There's a lot of women who go through that daily. And some would say, well, you don't need to seek validation from other people or from social media, but sometimes you can't help it because you're bombarded with images. Even advertising, you look at billboards, you look at commercials, you always see the perfect bodies. There were even a debate about, costumes and who you're seeing depicting the costumes. It's not realistic in terms of your body type. And there are women who are saying, you know what, I want to play mask, but I'm self-conscious because I don't look like this model look in this costume, so I'm not going to play because I don't feel comfortable. I don't think I'm going to look like her. There's a lot of pressure that's put on women every single day. And like I said, hearing from your significant other. Your significant other is supposed to be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest fan, who roots for you regardless of how you look. The one who boosts you up, you put on something and be like, yes, my girl, you look good today. There are some things that you don't do, and that is one of them. Discuss your significant other in a negative way with other people. I mean, if you have a little issue here and you just want to input, well, me and Tom had this falling out because, this happened, and this was my side and his side. What's your take? Do you think I handled it this way? How do you think I should handle it? That's different. You're discussing a situation, not the person. But when you're sitting there and your friends are so comfortable to bring up your wife, and you're saying you don't see that as an issue, and people are calling that overthinking, that is not overthinking. It is not. She feels how she feels.
Morning, morning.
Yeah, wait the rest of it. You come morning, morning, and you're done. When you get this morning, morning, and you don't come back. Someone said there's no coming back from that one. No matter what anyone says, I feel really hurt because I know only time and she has to do things to make herself feel good, eat well, exercise, positive affirmations daily. Because that's what she's saying. She feels hurt. There's no coming back for her.
If it was me, I would have packed my bag and walked one time. You get divorce paper in the mail.
Because how would you feel though? Apparently she has not said anything to him, so if you're willing to work on it and it is not too far gone, maybe you can have a conversation with him and let him know you overheard the conversation and this is how it made you feel, and get his feedback. I'm not sure if it would change anything, but maybe that's a start. If you're not, because like you said, newly married and you don't want to throw in the towel already, maybe he didn't think it was an issue, or maybe he didn't realize that, you'll be offended. So probably you should start by having a conversation with him, and based on his response, then you can decide to stay or to leave. If he's apologetic, if he's understanding of how you feel and he's willing to work on that side of things with his friends and let his friends know certain things are off limits, and set up boundaries so that his wife is not going to be a topic anymore, then maybe you can make it work. But I think keeping it to yourself, it'll just eat you up. You'll just be stressed about it, depressed about it, and dwelling on it. So I think maybe you need to process it a bit and have the conversation with him. Let him know how you feel, how what he did affected you. Rondell says he should have nipped that in the bud. If his friends want to discuss his wife, his place was to say from the start, not my wife, and stop hanging out with them if they can't respect his wife. But you realize that people comfortable talking about the man's wife. Listen to what she said. They started questioning him about our honeymoon and they were all teasing and laughing until one of his friends asked him if my looks was still an issue for him. My husband told her that he loved me and that we had a great honeymoon and that I'm beautiful on the inside. And he said, you can't have it all. The friend then insisted on asking whether he felt he downgraded from his ex-girlfriend. And he said, maybe. What are you telling me? Morning.
Morning, Aruna. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Great.
Aruna, that's the worst thing to discuss your personal, your personal life with your homies,
Mm-hmm.
I totally disrespect. But I realize in this country, Aruna, I find some guys, I have to say some keyword there. They like to run down Grenadian women. Like a while back when I came from the overseas, I went to Batu and I hear a guy was just running on the ladies. What you girl know? You got her looking good. What you girl know? Between girl like black. I get so upset, Aruna. You got millionaires out of here, guys, talk about women in this kind of derogatory way, I find Grenadian, and the ladies look good, Aruna. You guys look good. I see women from all over the world. When I came back from Toronto and I see Grenadian women, I say, wow, Grenadian women, it looks good. It's beautiful. So I don't see some men, they just like to go and cry. My friend, my girlfriend, you don't ugly. They're not as ugly. True beauty starts from within, and true beauty is within. You don't go and tell about the ugly, and you didn't find this and that. That pure pressure from society. Society wanted to live how they wanted to live. Pure pressure from society. You have your own life to live. Live your own life. Don't care what society say. If society call you fat, look at Mr. Killer, how he making fun out of big women, telling them about they bathe nice, they bathe and they smelling good. Like why you saying big women doesn't smell good? That disrespect. you bear pure pressure from society, sister. So it was nice talking to you. Call from
Thanks
St.
so
Andrews.
much. Appreciate
Okay, right.
it.
One love.
Thanks
All
so
right.
much. Well said, caller. Really appreciate your contribution. Bang on. Let me hear what this person is saying.
Morning, morning. My first question to the lady is the young man, or I should say, are you more financially secure than the young man? Because I think that he may be married just for marry you just for security. Because if you feel that way about that young lady and have so much issues with her looks, why did you marry to her? And why are you trying to impress your friends? You know, I always try to encourage females, right, to embrace their self-love, to embrace their looks, their
Caller on the line,
figure,
stay.
no matter what your size, your shape, your looks, embrace that self-love. Once you have that self-love, no matter what anyone say or do, cannot really move you and shouldn't move you, you know? And sometimes these females go out, all out to impress men. And I have to say, sometimes that doesn't really make a difference to some of us men. Some men out there just love a woman the way they naturally look. Yes, I know there are times you have to put on the little, makeup here and there, but there are a lot of men out there that just appreciate a woman the way they are naturally. You know, don't let nobody try to make you or put you in a situation what you're not comfortable with. If you think that you need to lose weight, you seek the help to lose your weight. You know, it's not a nice thing feel let down or feeling not accepted because of your weight or your looks. And it has a lot to do because of your self-love. If you have that self-love, you would make a big difference. So try to embrace the love for yourself more, and have a serious talk with homeboy, because it's not a nice thing. And homeboy, you need to do better than that, you know. Obviously, having these conversations with these friends and them before and after your marriage. And obviously, I don't think he marry you for love. It's some sort of security. I will take it that you have, in a better secret situation and just situation than him. And he's, is obviously something, because there's no way I can see myself marrying somebody and I feel that way about them. So you need to check yourself, love yourself more, and, do what you got to do. Sort yourself out, and do whatever you're doing, do it for him. Do it for you, sorry. Do it for you, not for him. You know, love yourself. If you feel you need to lose weight, whatever it is. And you made a statement that you don't think that you're good looking. Miss, everybody is special in their own way, right? They just say one man trash is a next man treasure. So everybody is special in their own way. So never say that you're not, you didn't think that you're beautiful. No.
Gotcha. Good morning.
So have a good day and embrace
Hi, good morning.
yourself some more and love yourself some more.
Thanks so much on the WhatsApp. Morning, caller on the line.
Hi, pleasant good morning.
Hi, morning.
Yes, I agree with you to some extent, and I believe also that the guy was very unprofessional, and that was not something nice to do. But we have to be realistic in a sense that something can be true and yet still be disrespectful. So the topic of beauty being based on society and all those things in them, but especially with these last two callers, I strongly disagree. There is a thing called fat, and obesity is real, and obesity is also unhealthy. When you look at COVID-19, the number one cause of death through COVID was obesity. And this glorification of fat women, this is the whole thing in the United States, where they speak about fat shaming, and you have fat women on the covers of magazines. If fat is unhealthy, why would you try to uplift fat and tell someone who is obese, which is unhealthy, that they are beautiful and they just need to love their body and love the skin that they're in? You are lying to women, and men should not lie to women. Generally, for example, you ask a woman, what's a perfect man? And the first thing you might hear, she say that she wants a man taller than her. No guy cries and bawls and says, but hey, she wants a man taller than her. We can't do anything about that. But the minute time that a guy said that he wants a woman with a big ass or a big breast, he's shallow. Now, on the woman's side, she can be shallow because a guy cannot control anything about his height. But the minute time that a man says that he wants this type of woman, he's critique, he's shallow, he's this, and he's whatsoever. So to the first point where you were speaking on what the guy said about that was a disrespect. There are certain things that you just don't speak about in a relationship, but sometimes things that you do speak about in a relationship can be true. For example, you can have a conversation, although I disagree with the conversation, you can have a conversation about something, like speaking about her beauty or whatsoever. And it's true because at the end of the day, beauty is just a matter of perception. And when we first meet someone, people can say, I fall in love with the spirit, I fall in love with this. But when you just meet someone, what you fall in love with or what you get to like or what gives them a chance is their physical aspect. If that physical aspect was never attractive to you, you would have never learned anything about the person's ways, what they're good at, what they are not good at. So at the end of the day, women are judged on beauty, and men are generally judged on what they have. And this is just the way our society is, and anybody who wants to see different will just be delusional. So if you want to believe that you're fat and men should see you as beautiful because you're fat and you should love the body you're in, you're going to forever be delusional. There are just certain things in life that we have to accept, that if you are a short man and you look a bit challenging, your life is going to be difficult. If you're a fat woman and you look a type of way, your life is going to be difficult. That's just the way of life.
All right, got you. Thanks so much. But I think you missed the boat by a whole 10 miles and some. That's not what we're talking. What you just said there to me is like apples and grapes. I don't think the conversation is you shouldn't tell somebody that. The conversation is discussing your significant other with his friends about your wife's looks. Now, if I'm your wife and I'm gaining weight, you should be able to say, hey, Runes, nah, this is the weight you put on there. We had to work on that. We need to go to the gym. I'm going to help you work out. You need to change your eating habits. I don't expect you to go tell the marish and the parish that I'm big and I'm fat. And I have to hear it from somebody else that you think that I'm big and fat. I should be hearing that from you because you are my husband. I am your wife. I should be hearing from you. Listen, I find you putting on a little too much weight. I find your belly getting a little too big. I find you titting. We had to work on that. I should be hearing that from you. Now, what you just said there to me is like completely removed from the conversation. Nobody's glorifying obesity or saying, you should be comfortable with being, overweight. A lot of the times it's not just being comfortable. There are people who try and try and try. Losing weight is not as easy as it looks. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of help and support. Same way as gaining weight. Some people have slow metabolism. They have a fast one. There are people who could eat anything and they will not gain an ounce. And there are some, the minute time they even smell the food, they're gaining weight. So it depends on your body type. Now, that doesn't mean because that person is overweight or plus size that they're happy or comfortable with it. Some put on a face to say, you know what, this is what I have and I just have to work. That does not mean that they are. But they've tried and they're trying. So all they're looking for is support. Doesn't mean you're just going to walk around telling people, oh, well, you're fat. I know I'm fat. I don't need you to tell me that. Or you don't need to walk, oh, you're skinny. I see myself every day. I know I'm skinny. You don't need to tell me that. So because you can say something doesn't mean you have to say it. Because you can tell a person something don't mean you just say it and have no concern about how it's going to make them feel or no consideration whatsoever for their feelings. The people know that they're overweight and they know that they're skinny. How are you going to help me? Okay, you tell me I'm fat, then what? Did you offer any suggestions as to how I can lose the weight and keep it off? Or you tell me I'm skinny. Are you offering any solutions as to how I can gain some weight? Healthy weight? No. Oh, you're fat. Okay, and then what? Do you feel good about yourself? Pointing out my flaws? So we are aware of all that. The point remains, as a man or woman for that matter, and it goes across the board, You should not be discussing your significant other with other people in ways that are not helpful or positive. It's just not a good look. If you have a problem with the way your husband or your wife looks, you're supposed to have the conversation with your husband or your wife. Not your little group chats. Your wife shouldn't, unless you're telling a story that makes your wife or husband looks good, or your wife said something funny, or your husband said something funny, and you want to share it with your little group, that is perfectly okay. But there's no way you're telling me that it's okay for your husband or your wife to be discussing you with other people in ways that are not. How? You don't always have to. If you have a problem with your wife, you tell your wife. You have a problem with your husband, you tell your husband. You ain't supposed to be telling everybody about your wife or your husband. And about what you say? Yeah, the person just said thank you for that. Here, they're listening. Yeah, so to tell you that your little friend jump up about if you still have problems with my looks means you had conversation about my looks with your little friends before. So now they're comfortable enough to come and ask you about it again. And you telling them about a beautiful on the inside and about you can't have it all. And asking if you feel a downgrade from your ex-girlfriend, and you're saying maybe. So what you come here and do? Stay with your ex-girlfriend then? What you come here for? If you feel getting married to me was a downgrade and you're saying maybe, not even a no, not even a definite no. She may not be beautiful in societal terms, but she's a very beautiful, she has a beautiful personality, beautiful soul, makes me laugh, makes me happy. None of that. Maybe you say, so it could be yes and it could be no. You interpret it any way you feel like. Not even a strong no. It's not a downgrade. Maybe. Are they good until the doctor see all you, yes? That's your husband telling your friend on them, in group chat, If friend asked him if he felt like he downgraded from his ex-girlfriend, and homeboy telling his friend, maybe. Not even no, not even a little defense, even though you feel that way personally. You didn't even put up a strong fight and say no. Maybe, Another one say he ain't bad looking. She wasn't bad looking if she lost some weight. You wouldn't be, and you won't say nothing. Have you told your wife these things? That you feel, maybe she just needs to lose a little some weight and you're going to help her? Of course I wouldn't feel, trust me, I wouldn't even like you. And to me, like is more important than love. You could love somebody, but you don't like them. And if in the minute time I stop liking you, then, hey, any ball could play. If I were in your position, I wouldn't even like you. The fact that you couldn't even stand up and say no. Or say no. My wife isn't a topic. No, we're not discussing my wife. Next. How was the honeymoon? It was fantastic. We had a whale of a time. Moving on. I wouldn't even like you, to be honest. But like I said, you're newlywed. We don't need to rush to divorce court for everything. Maybe this is you can salvage this if you are of the mind to. But I suggest that you have the conversation with him. Let him know that you overheard what was said. And this is how you feel about it. And his response. And where his head is really at. Where you're concerned. And that you would like for him and his friends to just continue having conversations about you in your absence. If you're so inclined. Take a little time. Pray on it. Think about it. Weigh the pros, the cons. There must be something good about him. That's why you agreed to get married. So I'm sure the positives will outweigh the negatives. If there are more positive than negatives, then I think you can salvage the relationship. Maybe you can still have the conversation with him and, try to see where his head is at and the reasoning behind his response so you can move forward or, together, or you go your separate ways rejoicing. But before you make any other moves, I would suggest having a conversation with him.
There's no conversation. There you go by Hoggins or how about one of them let the bill a woman fine.
I would confront him about what I heard. Let me just calm down, get out of the anger mode, be calm, so I can have a rational conversation with him, and we'll take it from there. Yeah? Anyways, I think that's all the time we have. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I have another serious one tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm not even sure where to start with the one for tomorrow. There's some man that does gossip more than woman. Trust me, mouth boss. A lot of them, they mouth boss. You have a little relationship with them, they have to tell the whole parish that you and them was together for a hot minute. Fames those ones. Like y'all can, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna rush my mouth and go about my business. Thank you so much, Beacon Insurance and Western Union. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be back for another show.
Ladies Room comes to you compliments of
Renwick and Thompson